Hey besties, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make this lovely dress. The first thing we want to do is to make a pattern for this dress. So I'm going ahead to leave a space on the front part, and then I'm leaving a space at the top part. The reason why I'm doing this is because this pattern paper is calibrated already, so I just want to be sure where I am going to be measuring from. As you may already know, in pattern making we have measurement that go from vertical and then measurement that go from horizontal line. So to make it simple, I'm just going to show you that some measurements are around your body, which is called circumference, and some goes from the top of your shoulder down. So the first measurement we're going to be putting in is from the top of your shoulder down. So you measure from the top of your shoulder to your chest line, your bust point, your under bust, your hip, waist, and then your length. Go ahead and label your pattern, and we are going to rule them straight. So on the mannequin, I'm just demonstrating where your waist measurement, your shoulder measurement, your chest line, your bust point, your under bust, your waist, and your length is supposed to be on your body. So I went ahead and fold my pattern to two because I'll be using one for front and one for the back. For front measurement, I want to go ahead and measure from one nipple point to the other, and whatever I get as measurement, I'm going to be putting it on my bust point and on my upper hip. After which I'll rule them straight, and then I'll take 1 inch at both sides of that line on the waist, and then I'll connect them together. When that is done, I'll go ahead and take the first curved line to my shoulder line. From my shoulder line, I want to measure away 4 inches, and then I'll connect it back to the bust point. Now close the shoulder to bring the shoulder slope. Before you do that, make sure you copy all of these lines back to your back piece, and then you cut them out and separate them from each other. When that is done, you want to go ahead and connect your shoulder line straight again after closing it that, and from there you measure your across back. So I came out from there by 1.5 inches, and then I went ahead to mark my neckline and then my shoulder line. So I used 3 and 5 inches. After that is done, I'll put in my round measurement, which is like my bust measurement divided by 4 and add 0.5. I will also go ahead and measure my neckline, and then I will draw them out. The next thing I want to also do is to measure all of the round measurement, my under bust divided by 4, and then I'll add 2 inches. My hip line divided by 4, and then I'll add 2 inches as well before the division, so that I'll make sure that I'm giving 0.5 inches for the seam allowance. So on the line for the hip there, you see that I have 2 inches after the hip, so we call that upper hip and lower hip. So on my upper hip is where I'm going to be putting my hip measurement divided by 4, I'm going to be putting the measurements there. However, when I get down to the length of the pattern, I'm going to go ahead and deduct 1.5 there to just make sure that we're not going straight from the hip down. So after which I'll go to my shoulder line, measure from the chest line back up, and then I'll divide it by 2 and I'll use it to bring out my curve. So when that is done, I'll go to my shoulder line, come in by 1 or 1.5 inches, and then I'll bring my shoulder space to 1.5 inches, connect it to the neckline I want to use, and I'll connect it back to my armhole as well. So don't forget, when you connect this, make sure that the neck part is an angle of 90 degrees. If not, it's going to bring a little weird curve when you cut it out on your fabric. On the shoulder dots there, I'm just going to contour 0.5 and then bring it in back to my bust point. I'll close that again and I'll go ahead and find my bust circumference. To find bust circumference, you need the measurement from your nipple point to your under bust. Wherever you find there, you're going to make like a round circle there, and then you connect it back to anywhere from your armhole line. So this is just as if you are going to make a corset. So that circumference of a bust you need there is the same thing you're using here. So ensure you connect it to the measurement of your round bust. I'll go right ahead and smoothen all of the sharp edges, and I'll cut this pattern out. Don't forget to label your pattern and copy out the upper parts that you cut out there. We want to use one as a lining and we want to use one as a main piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and close the dart, and then I'll open the side and cut it out from the bust point. So this is my back pattern. I just went ahead and retraced all of the line, and then I connect the bust point up to open a dart there. After which I went ahead to my shoulder line, bring out the shoulder space and my across back, and then I went ahead to connect it, still using 3 and 5, and then still using 1 and 1.5 inches for the shoulder slope. I also went ahead and bring all of my measurements. I also added 0.5 seam allowance, and then I went ahead to rule them and I'll cut them out. Also, for my neck line for the back, I went ahead to also contour the neck part as well. So it's just bringing 0.5 or like 1 inches if your pattern has seam allowance, but if it doesn't have seam allowance, just bring in 0.5 out, cut it out from the neckline and close the neckline as well. So the shoulder space is going to be the same thing we did on the front part. So we're just going to go ahead 1 inch from our shoulder line, and then we measure 1.5, and then we connect it to the neckline and connect it to the shoulder space as well. So that's everything I've done for the back. I'll just separate the O piece and then I'll cut it out. So I just went ahead to label all my pieces, and I'll go ahead and cut the fabric, select the fabric I want to use, cut them out, and I will see you in the next sewing tutorial. Please don't forget to like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.